In the 90s, researchers at MIT did what researchers do and had some rats run through a maze. They put monitors on the little rat brains. What they found was interesting. The mental activity actually decreased after the rats learned more and became more efficient running through the maze. When a task is new or interesting to us, it takes mental energy. Habits don't take much energy at all. Often we'll start one activity, such as opening the car door, and we don't think about what we're actually physically doing until we arrive at work. This collection of habitual behaviors is called chunking. The first time you drove a car, there was so much to think about that it was probably mentally exhausting. But you were willing to go through that because the motivation to drive was so high. Now you drive purely out of habit until you have to go somewhere new and need to pay attention to where you're going. For creating healthy habits, there are two important things to know about habits. The human brain seeks efficiency and rewards. It's better for us to save our energy for the new issues that come up, so our brains encourage us to perform habits as often as possible. That's why changing tiny habits to become healthier and happier gets bigger results than trying to change the big stuff. It takes a lot of motivation to start up with the latest diet and exercise program, but if you're in the habit of taking a brisk walk to your lunch location, you're not even aware that it's work. The brain seeks rewards. No doubt you've seen dogs and orcas being trained with treats. We aren't that much different than they. If there's no reward at the end of the behavior, we're not likely to do it. Since doggy treats aren't that tasty to us, we generally like positive affirmations, pats on the back, as rewards. Eventually, we'll perform the habit without the treat. At that point, it's permanent. One of the reasons that reward is important is that good feelings, like the ones you get when you're congratulated, act on the brain chemically like drugs. When you don't have that chemical gift, you start to crave it, and that craving encourages the behavior that got you the treat in the first place. This is particularly powerful with food rewards, as food directly changes your blood chemistry. The good news is that when you exercise hard enough to release endorphins, your body craves exercise to get that runner's high. Habits don't go away. They're often replaced by other habits, but they can always be revived with the right conditions and cues. The habit loop looks like this. You have a cue or a trigger behavior, then reward. You say, play dead. Pluto lays down and he gets a treat. So when you want to adopt a new behavior, which is precisely what we want you to do with this program, there are two things that augur success. One, anchor your behavior to a habit that you already have, and number two, reward yourself for that new behavior. You currently have hundreds of habits that you do every day, usually clustered around events such as waking up, eating, bathing, driving, walking, working, and others all the way until you have your bedtime habits. What we want you to do is take the new behavior that you want to adopt and do it after a current habit. We call the current habit the anchor habit, which serves as the cue for the new habit. Every time that you do the new habit, I want you to reward yourself somehow. You can repeat a phrase like attaboy, or do a fist pump, or anything that feels comfortable to you, and preferably fun to you. In his book, The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, he writes, if you want to start running each morning, it's essential that you choose a simple cue, like lacing up your sneakers before breakfast or leaving your running clothes next to your bed, and a clear reward, such as a midday treat, a sense of accomplishment from recording your miles, or maybe the endorphin rush that you get from a jog. But countless studies have shown that a cue and reward on their own aren't enough for a new habit to last. Only when your brain starts experiencing the reward and then craving the endorphins or the sense of accomplishment will it become automatic to lace up your jogging shoes each morning. The cue, in addition to triggering a routine, must also trigger a craving for the reward to come. To repeat, anchor, behavior, reward. When you anchor a new habit after an old habit, you're chunking your habits and your brain is thrilled because it doesn't have to stress out about it anymore. And you're a person with a healthier behavior, which will make you happier. Now you have a new habit loop. As Jim Ryan said, motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going.